Ciao ragazzi, this is Talk Calcio TV on YouTube. Ciao tifosi, welcome to this episode of Talk Calcio TV. Who would have thought just 2 days since the 2017-18 Serie A season drew to a close? It's fair to say we had a dramatic last day, that's for certain. Unfortunately, it is Crotone though who joined Benevento and Verona playing Serie B next season. And also, as Juventus lifted the Scudetto, it was Buffon's last ever game. What an unbelievable finish between Lazio and Inter at the Stadio Olimpico on Sunday night. Champions League decider. It is the Nerazzurri that will play in Europe's elite competition next year. Lazio will have to settle for the Europa League. If you check out the link below from Sunday night's episode, you'll know we were left absolutely speechless after that game. I've got to say, that just sums up Serie A. Now, while I've said it on many times, it used to be the best league in the world. We're probably the fourth best now. The Premier League, then the Liga, even the Bundesliga is above us. But this season, you can't say any league in Europe provided more entertainment or just as good as Serie A. You know, we may not have the big names like I've mentioned as well. But you look at the Premier League. Man City won the title back in April. With how many games left? They could have even won it before Easter. Now, that's not disrespecting Man City. It tends to show that in terms of the Premier League, you know, it wasn't as compelling as it was in Serie A, issues at the top or the bottom. We go to La Liga, Barcelona won it by a mile. You know, they only lost one match. That kind of says it all. Real Madrid weren't even challenging for the title. In fact, I don't know what the points gap. Atletico were miles behind Barcelona in second place. When we go to the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich ran away with it yet again. I think, what's that, 6 in a row now? You know, but you go to Serie A, yeah, Juventus won the title yet again, 7 in a row, but it was just 4 points. And at one stage, you know, when Napoli won at the Allianz Arena in Turin, you thought, it's Scudetto race on here. But, you know, Napoli ran out of steam at the vital point. But, you know, what we've witnessed, you know, we've witnessed history. You know, Juventus, love them or like them, 7 Scudetti in a row, 34 in their history. You know, they get the job done. They win for a reason. You know, people can say they're boring. But at the end of it, it's up to the others to decide. People used to say Floyd Mayweather or Michael Schumacher were boring. It's up to the others to try harder. Hopefully next season we'll have, I'm not saying I don't want Juventus to win the Scudetto, but you know, we want to see another team challenge. We want a closer. We want the Scudetto race to go to the last day. That would be different. But in terms of entertainment this year in Serie A, it was not disappointing. Even the battle for Champions League places, you know, contested between Roma, Lazio, Inter. You know, those positions were constantly fluttering as the season went on. Luckily on the last day, Roma got that win at Sassuolo to guarantee it. But when it came down to a climax, Lazio and Inter at the Stadio Olimpico, that just summed up Serie A for me this season. Like I say, the season barely 2 days over, but there have been many other talking points that have developed. Now, we said from January onwards, we believe Carlo Ancleotti or Massimo Allegri from Juventus were on their way to Arsenal to replace Arsenal Wenger, who had been in charge of the North London club for 22 years. We were wrong, as well as many other Italian press, may I add. Yesterday, they appointed Unai Emery, the Spanish manager formerly of Sevilla and Paris Saint-Germain. He's to take over at the Emirates Stadium. Now, I just think the fact that Arsenal didn't qualify for the Champions League, was that the deciding factor in keeping Allegri at the Bianconeri in Turin? You know, I've got to say, Allegri, you'd be tempted by a job in the Premier League. Let's be honest. You know, other Italian managers have left the comfort zone of Serie A the last few years, given the fact the league's not as competitive or not as flush with cash as is the EPL. However, though, they are not in the Champions League. And like I say, now there's talk that Allegri might be going to Chelsea to succeed Antonio Conte, who seems to be on his way out. Yet again, Chelsea are not in the Champions League. So that could be a factor in keeping Allegri at Juventus yet again. If you're a Juventus fan, I've got to say, I'd be happy to keep hold of Allegri. I know some of the Bianconeri tifosi have never accepted him because of his Milan links. But what the job he's done is unbelievable. I'd be happy that he's staying in Turin. As for Carlo Ancleotti, now there's rumours rife that he's to be the new manager of Napoli. Now Maurizio Sarri looks as if he's going to be on his way out. He hasn't signed a new contract. So say he rejected Zenit St. Petersburg. Now, there's, of course, in the Italian press that Ancelotti's been house hunting in the south of Italy. Well, make of that what you will. But so say he is the man to succeed Sarri. Where does Sarri go for him here? Well, like we've already mentioned, Chelsea a possibility. Or what other jobs are available in Europe that could tempt him? What else for Napoli? Now, even Marek Hamsik today has said that he could leave Napoli. So say there's an offer on the table from China. But what about the rest of the squad? You know, the likes of Dries Mertens, Calayon, Insigne. I think he'll probably stay. He's a buoyant Napoli fan through and through. Then you've got the likes of Koulibaly and Husay and the rest of it. Reina already going to AC Milan. You know, it'd be a shame to see that Napoli team broken up I really think that this year it was their chance to win the Scudetto. It was really now or never. Do I think they compete next year? Well, it's early to say, but if you lose 2 or 3 players and Juventus going to keep theirs and probably strengthen, the odds are looking as if they're going to be stacked against them. Now, in the battle for the Capiconeri, of course, this year, it was shared by Ciro Immobile of Lazio and Mauro Icardi of Inter. Of course, Icardi was on the score sheet Sunday night. Now, they're going to share the trophy. However, both aren't going to be at this summer's World Cup in Russia. As we know, Italy didn't qualify, but Mauro Icardi has been left out by Argentina. The Albiceleste have not selected the Inter captain and prolific hitman. I've got to say I'm surprised at this. He's captained the side, he's scored 29 goals this year, got them to the Champions League. How can he not be selected by Argentina? Okay, you've got bags of talent. You've got the likes of Messi, Dybala, Higuain, but surely having Icardi there, doesn't that add to your strength in depth? I've got to say this decision surprised me, but that wasn't the only one. Radja Nainggolan, the ninja from Roma, has not been selected for Belgium's World Cup campaign. He immediately retired 2 hours later from international duty altogether. Now, it's no secret he didn't get on with Roberto Martinez. Last time when they played against Saudi Arabia in a friendly back in March, Nainggolan, the ninja, didn't turn up for a training session. It's fair to say that the two never saw eye to eye, but to leave him out... Now, of course, Belgium do have England in their group. And if I was a Three Lions fan right now, I'll be glad that Nainggolan's not going because he's definitely a threat. Now, Belgium, of course, have got bags of talent in their squad. Of course, Dries Mertens, hitman from Napoli, he's going to be there too. But for Nainggolan not to make the squad there, I've got to say I'm absolutely baffled. One man who has made the Italy squad, albeit in pointless friendlies, is Mario Balotelli. He has been recalled by new Azzurri coach Roberto Mancini. Now, bear in mind, of course, Mancini and Balotelli... They've worked together at Inter Milan and Manchester City. They've had their clashes in the past, but right now we need as much firepower as we can to get us to the European Championships in 2020. I've got to say, this summer, I'm dreading this World Cup. I've seen all the promos, I've seen all the adverts on the telly. Every time I see it, I just want the ground to swallow me up. I can't bear this. I can't believe we're not going to Russia. I'm seriously going to... Come on, we've been world champions 4 times. Don't we need a bit of a rest? Not much of an excuse, is it? Now that the Serie A season is over and we're not going to Russia though, we're going to take a bit of a rest, a bit of a break, recharge our batteries. But on Monday 4th of June, we are off to Milan. Now, just like we did in Rome back in February, we're going to be doing a tour around the city. All the major sites, of course, that is the Duomo, Da Vinci's Last Supper, the Sforza Castle, especially a tour of the Giuseppe Meazza San Siro Stadium, famous the world over, home of the Rossoneri AC Milan and the Nerazzurri Inter Milan. So we're going to be doing a tour on there. So don't forget to follow us on that on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, as well as our Facebook for all the regular updates. So tune in for that one. Whilst the World Cup is on, we will do some episodes, albeit not about the tournament itself. We'll be getting a bit of a history on some of the famous Italian shirts that have been worn through major tournaments. So stay tuned for that one. So thanks for watching this episode of Talk Calcio TV. Now, just before we go, I want to say a big thank you to everyone that subscribed and watched our episodes from December onwards, of course, when we set up the channel. Also, thank you everyone who's gone onto our Facebook page and given us a like, as well as following us on Twitter, Snapchat and Instagram. Of course, coming in a quarter way for when the season was already gone was a bit hard for us to find our feet, but thank you ever so much. All your feedback means the world, and we'll be there from the start of next season. So enjoy your summer. Try find something to do while the World Cup's on and we're not in it at least. And don't forget to subscribe, Talk Calcio TV on YouTube. We're going to go have a sleep now and we will see you in Milan. Arrivederci, ciao! Are we done? Good. Free at last.